Hi, my name is Mimi, and this is the first time I'm recording the Yarnchix podcast, and I hope you really enjoy it. It's sort of the idea of being many in a community. So obviously I'm just one chick, but I really hope that it sort of shows how I'm interested in all working together and as a group, because I love the knitting community and I love what I found on Instagram. You can find me as Liebred on Instagram and also on Ravelry. I'm gonna put my name written, I think, there. I think I'm gonna try and keep putting information in text and writing here so that you know, if you like something, you can go and look it up. Yes, so I'm gonna go straight in with my finished objects. You probably, if you followed me on Instagram, seen some of these, but yeah. Oh yeah, mainly this one. This is the Rockhopper Shawl that I knitted in the penguin cowl. The design is by Anna Maltz, Sweater Spotter. You're gonna find it in writing here. I absolutely love knitting this. It's the first time I made something this big. Look, it's absolutely huge. It's mainly this big because I was very inexperienced with blocking and with sizing, so I just made a mistake. But I actually now really love the mistake, because basically what I did when I cast on all these stitches, I had decided to actually add 2 repeats. So these 2 first ones would usually not be part of the shawl. And then I kept running out of yarn and I ordered more. And now I've got this massive, lovely shawl called the Rockhopper Shawl. And yeah, I can show you the book actually. The book is, where have I put the book? This is the book. And that's where the pattern's from. And I will show you it again in a minute, because there's more I'm knitting from this amazing, amazing collection of patterns. I'm very, very happy I bought this, and I think I'm gonna probably knit through it in the long run, long term, I think. Because just check out these mittens, I mean, it's amazing. So that is one finished object that I was wearing. Then this summer, just after that knit along, I just said I wanted to knit a dress, and the pattern is by Hey Mama Wolf Yarns. This is the dress. Look. And it just sort of happened that other people wanted to knit it as well, so we had this spontaneous, no pressure knit along with some amazing friends of mine. I will put all their Instagram names here, so please go and check them out, and also check out their rosa dresses. I mean, all of these dresses are really, really pretty, but I'm extra happy with this one. For me, it was really special because I was given this fabric by my mother-in-law, and this used to be her wedding dress, and she cut it up a bit later on because she wanted like a shorter sort of tunic type dress, because it was like a very long floor length dress. And yeah, she gave me the fabric when I had my baby girl and said, maybe you want to make something. And then it took me another 3 years maybe until I started knitting like quite a lot again. And then yeah, after I finished the shawl, I'd seen this pattern, actually really wanted to make this dress, so you know, add a knitted top. It's like a little knitted vest. It's all in, oh god, what do you call it? I always think it's moss stitch. I think it's moss stitch, sorry. And it's got this really interesting detail with the I-cord. I knit it on later on. And then you have these 3 buttons, and this was the first time I ever knit short rows, and I made a mistake. But you can hardly see it. I don't know how I managed to do it, but I did short rows once and then I did them another time instead of like knitting back. So I'm gonna try and knit this dress again in a slightly smaller size, and also with pink yarn by Hey Mama Wolf. yarns, because she makes amazing yarns, which you will see in my next finished object, which after I finished the dress, then I was immediately into knitting something new when I knit this shawl. Oh yeah, I should mention that through the Cal I also started translating the pattern for Jule into English, and then she asked me to translate this pattern into English as well, and I said okay, I'll knit it and then translate it as I go along, because I'm not so experienced. And look, we basically got the yarn of hers, and she has these amazing gradient sets. I think she's actually just done a shop update. Check out this amazing yarn. I love how the gradient side of the shawl, sorry, I'm admiring it in the camera. Yeah, so I made this shawl. It's basically a really clever construction, and you can choose whatever colors you like. You know, you could even knit it in like more contrasting colors, you know, here meeting here in the middle, or you know, you could stripe this top bit. You sort of knit along here, down and up again, and then you insert this triangle by picking up some stitches. And yeah, if you have any questions with the pattern as well on Ravelry, I have, you know, my projects on Ravelry are actually almost like diary entries, so you can really, if you have any questions, you can read up. Maybe there was an issue that I run into that now concerns you if you've cast this on. So I think yeah, or I'm also happy if you have questions, just message me either on Instagram or on Ravelry and I can help, especially with the English speakers. Obviously Jule is much more experienced knitter than me, and she really is really kind and always open to comments and questions. And yeah, you should also go and check out this amazing yarn. It's so good because it's strong. It's, you know, obviously it's like all sheep's wool, and she uses all natural dyes, so this would be an indigo, and this gold, which I'm completely in love with, this gold is elm and birch, and it's just beautiful. And this yarn, when I first got it, it still smelled, it was like freshly dyed, and she sort of picked it out and said, look at this, and out of her bag, and I was like, oh god, that's amazing. And it smelled so yummy that I have to have it. And yeah, and it softens during the knit, so already whilst I was knitting, the yarn got much softer because just because of handling it and keeping going with it, which yeah, it's really good. It's a really good little smaller version, because I've got the really big Rockhopper and this is like a smaller shawl, so I wear it like a scarf, or I also wear it, and this is my this is how I wore it all September, like over the shoulders, just like this, looking for the right brooch to maybe button up here, like as in, you know, use a brooch to close it up. But yes. And then I also fell in love with a pattern by, look, this is the hat. The pattern is by the Wool Club. I will also put her details here. She is super talented, and I'm really happy. I also met her and I went along to the yarn crawl that she organizes with Hannah on the Road, who's also like so inspiring to follow. So I will put Hannah on the Road's details here as well, because she's got this amazing podcast, and she also does a lot of creative boss coaching, which I think it just sounds like she really knows her stuff and is really inspiring. And anyway, through meeting them, I also met all this amazing work they're doing, and this pattern just, as soon as I saw her posting little snippets of it, I was like, I need to do it, because this hat is called the Vliesensee hat, the pattern, and we actually have a little boat shed, like a holiday home on the Lake Fliesensees, which is about 1.5 hours from Berlin, north. And yeah, I was just like, oh my god, she went to the same place, and she actually, you know, called the hat Fliesensee hat, and you know, I love that place, and I will be wearing it there. I cast it on there and came up with this whole idea to, you know, add, you know, use up the rest of that Hey Mama Wolf yarn with this pattern. And then obviously I didn't have enough of the gold, so look, I ran out. So I was racing through the end bit. Actually, I knit this in 5 days because I was feeling cold and I wanted a hat, and this was the only project I took on our term break, and I raced through it. So obviously I made a couple of mistakes. I'm not so happy with how I did the twisted rib brim. I think I made a couple of mistakes, and I ripped back and then picked up the stitches wrong, I think. So it's not like I'm not 100% happy with my knitting in it, but I love it, and I'm wearing it all the time. And I've actually started wearing it with the brim folded down, because when you're cycling in Berlin, you need to cover your ears, and I think it works well like this. And so now I've got this spot on the top, which we were joking about, and the kids love it. They always smile when they see it. They were saying like it's like a little button and they can press boop, and it's sort of like a yarn chicken loss because it's so quirky. Maybe it was a win, I don't know. I have mixed feelings, but I, you know, mainly love having this hat, and it's super good because I got wet, I got rained on while cycling, and this kept my hair dry because the wool is just such good quality. It's like protective because it's still got quite a bit of lanolin in the actual yarn. I think it's like sheepy good, sheepy clever, sheepy good. Okay, so that's it. They're the finished objects that I wanted to introduce today. I'm wearing my beach tank by the Kitchen Witch. This pattern that was like a summer highlight to knit this, and I'm still wearing it. Not summer, but I'm just layering it, so I'm really happy I knit it. It's actually one of the first sort of wardrobe-y items I made, because the rest like a shawl, you know, and then I think I started the dress at the same time, but I finished the top much quicker. It's a really easy, amazing pattern. A simple pattern, and because you're using 2 yarns at the same time, which gives this sort of mild effect, it's actually quite a quick knit. I loved it. Okay, the details of the pattern I will obviously also write down here. Excuse me, I might drink a couple of sips of tea. So this is my knitting tea cup stroke beer jug, but it's really practical because you can sort of keep it warm. Once it's sort of cooled down, then you can keep the lid on, and it's got these 2 Bavarian dancers on it, which I love. So then I will move on to my whips, and maybe I should start with my VIP whip, which is what I'm gonna call this from now on, because it really needs knitting. This is also part of a cowl. It is the Be Kind shawl, which we're knitting as a group in the Be Kind cowl. Oh god, actually it's really difficult to show you now because I'm mid-row. That's stupid. Yeah, sort of, never mind, I'll show you like this. It's basically many stitches on my circular. They are 3.5, and I'm using the most amazing yarn combo. I'm really happy with how it's happened, because obviously I needed to knit another shawl. I think I'm a bit of a shawl knitter because I'm already dreaming about the next project. Anyway, so this yarn, the speckled blue, is really nice, and it's soft. It's a sock yarn. It's by Ovis Etc., which is someone I met through Hannah-Lisa and Verena. So during the Berlin yarn crawl, I met Saskia of Ovis Etc., yarns, and yeah, I just absolutely love this sort of sheepy sock yarn. It actually also smelled quite natural, and it still has like I think a 20% polyester in it. But oh, I might be wrong there. I should look it up, but I don't have a tag for it right here. I might look it up and write it down here if I got it wrong. But it's sort of like a speckly blue, and that's sort of what I started with. And then I ordered in the same, oh no, that was, I bought at the yarn crawl, I bought this sort of peachy, like a peachy yarn. So this is the Kempish High Chat by her. I think that is as well. And then I sort of frantically one night bought Gradient. It's by La Fée, and I loved it. I mean, I think there's a picture on my Instagram with me like holding it. It's now almost falling apart because I've come to the end, and it's this maroony color now. But obviously when I first started knitting it, it was like almost, yeah, sort of a more purplier speckled blue, and it sort of slowly melted into this quite dark, and it might even go a little bit darker. And then I will add some leftover of this. That was the yarn that I used for the Rockhopper Shawl. It is Kid Silk. Oh God, I'm gonna look up the information and I will write it down here. What the yarn's specifics are. I will write them down here beside me as well, because now I've gone blank. But I ordered this from Denmark because I got that yarn I got given by a friend, and she'd been given it by her Danish relatives, and I only had to order one skein of each one of the colors to make up the amounts because I went so huge. Otherwise, I think I could have, if I'd gone smaller, I could have maybe finished with there were like 4 skeins, like one of the purple, 2 of the light grey and 1 of the dark grey, and I think I would have only had to have ordered the dark grey if I'd made it according to pattern, but I didn't. So yeah, this is the purple that I will start striping with this in the last repeat. I am now just about, this is how many stitches of the short row I've got left, just about finishing I think that's the 3rd repeat. Should I check in the, no, and then, or even the 4th, it's the 4th set of short rows that I'm just about to finish, and then I'll be on the last set of short rows, which will mean I will have to knit all these stitches back and forth. And that's why I realized, okay, it's got to be my VIP if I want to finish until the 15th of November is the deadline of this knit along. So better keep going with that one. Ooh, it's a bit exciting. So that is the Be Kind shawl. Now, after that, and after the yarn crawl, where I bought this beauty, look at that, I immediately knew I wanted to knit the Tulsi socks. They're also a pattern by Verena, and they are actually the first pattern by Verena that I started knitting and that I purchased through Ravelry. You can check her page there. I think she's also got a website. Details will be written here. And so yeah, I started knitting these socks. I haven't finished them. So Socktober didn't work for me. Only got half a sock. But I'm now increasing on needle 2. And like this is like making the heel, and I've honestly never done it, but I really enjoy her pattern, and I really love this Bang Bang My Baby Shut Me Down colorway by Miss Mothballs. Again, details will be written here, and I really loved meeting Louisa, and I saw this skein in her like little display in the cafe, in the Indie Dye cafe where we all met, and I just immediately wanted it, just I guess because I like the sort of crazy black and red, and it's sort of, I needed some sort of something to make me really inspired to start socks, because I have not yet ever done it, and I'm really looking forward to finishing this, and I'm hoping that I can show you at least one sock next time. So that's the Tulsi sock that I'm knitting. Oh, and I'm using the contrast color that I'm using to go is like a light blue, and that came from my grandma's stash. She knits all our socks, basically. I never needed to knit me socks. But now I feel really inspired, and I think if I get going with the sock knitting, I might actually make her a pair of socks, and that would be amazing. And she gave me all her sock stash, and I'll show you that whip, because I've got something really exciting on my needles, which actually after the Be Kind Shawl I think I'll be finishing this, so I'm hoping that next time I can show you more. This is my penguono knit, which I'm knitting for my daughter, so it's like a really small, I've just sized down basically. And oh god, I've got it the wrong one here. And yeah, and that's mainly from using up yarns, that leftover yarns that my grandma sent me, and then I've added a couple of mini skeins on this side. Also from the yarn crawl, I bought these minis at Frida Fuchs of their, is it Remy Demi sock? God, I will write the details here. And look, I just love that pink. This pink is called Chili, and I've sort of marled it with like a light purple. This one is called Beetroot, Rote Beete. Sort of more purpley, and I've marled it with like blue and white. Yep, so that's how far I go with this one. It's basically going to be like a wraparound rainbow. That was my idea. And it's going to have like sparkly bits on the shoulder, I think. And yeah, I'm really excited because I see her face when I get this out. She's like, that's for me. And she's very excited. So I want to finish it so she can wear it. And also, I think I might even be able to wear it. I said that the other day. I'm going to wear it out because it's going to be like shorter, but I think it's still wide enough for an adult to wear. So I might model it. Once I finish it, model it next time. And I got this bag on like a flea market event around the corner. I just think it's really suiting with this leftover yarn project. I want to make it into my knitting backpack by adding some straps and then just use it as a backpack because it's too, yeah, it's big and I think it will work well as a backpack. So things will change with this bag. Wait and see. So, and now I really, really want to get back into penguin knitting because I love the penguin pattern book so much. This collection of patterns is amazing. So, and as soon as I bought the book and I knew, okay, Rockhopper it is because I fell in love with that pattern, but I knew Humboldt would be next, and actually I've been meaning to knit it. Now I've cast it on, but I've cast it on the wrong needles. It was too long, and then I was really annoyed with myself. This is the swatch, and I think I might have even swatched on the wrong needles. So then, because I don't buy needles new, I go to second hands, and I didn't have time until almost the end of the month when I finally did find the right size needle. So now what I have to do is actually move it onto here, and then I can start knitting in the round, and I'll be making my first sweater. I will show you quickly show you the picture in here of the Humboldt sweater. There it is. It's lovely. I just love that it's like a crop top and it's got this what a sweater spotter's invention, Anna's invention, the Marlisle. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Can't wait. And I bought this at our on the yarn crawl. I bought one to knit the swatch, and then I went back for more. It's by Cheval Blanc, and it's called Quito, and that's like a, oh god, it's like an alpaca wool mix blend. It's 60% alpaca, 40% wool, to go with the grey Rowan, which I can't believe it. It's so amazing. Anna of the Sweater Pot Spotter, she sent me some of this like a sweater's worth of this grey in a parcel. I've got it here because I always keep it in my yarny, shriney area. I got this in the post, and it's a sweater's worth of Rowan 4-ply merino yarn. Oh, isn't that unbelievable? So I got this and then went to find the matching yarn, and now I'm gonna have a grey yellow sweater, Humboldt sweater. Can't wait. I need to get going, but I think I'm also a bit nervous because I've never made a sweater, so that's why I think that project is sort of scaring me a bit, but also making me very happy, so I should just move on forward with it. So they're my whips, and yeah, I can't wait to finish the Be Kind shawl to make the Humboldt sweater my VIP VIP. I think that's what's gonna happen very soon. Now, sorry, oh yeah, one thing that you can see in the background here, this is my little, what I call my yarn shrine. So when I have new yarns, or I have something that inspires me or that I want to knit with soon, so I tend to have it on here. So at the moment I have this, another Ovis etc. yarn there to remind me to get on. It's like sock alarm, because I want to finish the Tulsi so I can knit something with this, like another pair of socks. And also there's more sock yarns. There is these by Herbstblatt Regina, and yeah, I think I ordered them for the Penguono when she had a shop update this summer, because I wanted to have some speckled fun on the shoulder bits for the Penguono I knit, so that's what these will become. And then at the yarn crawl, I couldn't get past this. It's another sock fingering weight yarn, and it's called Tante Vera's Schleuder, which translates as Auntie Vera's spinner or spinning machine, because it's so multicolored. Look at that. I don't know if it probably won't really show zoomed in, but yeah, I'm gonna make the mashed potato sock pattern also by the Wool Club in this yarn, and I really want to keep growing my sock skills, so I call that the sock alarm, moving forward with the learning in the sock alarm to make these into mashed potato yarns. And so another soon to be VIP is another etc. yarn. This is her Double Dutch. It's like a grey, it's quite squishy, soft, it's got like a slight halo. It's 90% Shetland and 10% alpaca. And I'm making the mittens to go with this as a test knit for Verena, and I'm really, really happy because I think this will go together really nicely. So yeah, that's being cast on tonight, I suppose. It needs to move forward, so then I can pair the hat and the mittens. Yes, put that there. So that was all my sort of yarn purchases and future whip. I mean future as in as soon as I finish, probably. Now I had a couple of other things that Oh yeah, I've got, actually I have the picture. I hope that's okay with Verena. Of the mittens, so that's what they will look like. But I think she's posted on her Instagram. Again, I will write down, or you can find it, or you can also find it on Ravelry or Test Knit thread, which is very, actually quite exciting to do that. And I wanted to show you some things that I do when I'm stuck with like color decisions, which I really was with the, well, I couldn't decide which way to use my Hey and Mama Wolf yarn for the shawl. So I did these two watercolors and it really helped because I worked out that this was more contrasty. But I did the same when I was, because I took the penguin on holiday and then never knit it, or only sort of worked out how to do the welts at on the back. And yeah, and then when I got home I couldn't work out how to carry on, so I made this drawing so that I could decide on how to use the colors, or sort of give myself a sense of direction. And that's when it sort of happened to become this sort of rainbowy wraparound. And I think I would change this, not brown, but sort of like a black, sparkly, silvery, also from my grandma's stash. And then I will do the speckled, so the bluish will be on this side. This colorway is called Crazy Flower Bed, will be on this side, and the colorway Vanilla Cupcake will be on that side, on the shoulders. Probably mild with another sort of lighter color. And yeah, I used this drawing, it really helped me to sort of move on and get going. And now, as you see, I've sort of finished the body and I've got to carry on with the next stage, which is constructing the shape. And the pattern is really amazing. It's by Stephen West Knits, my first West Knit ever, and I'm sure I'm gonna immediately find another pattern. His patterns are really cool and fun, and I think just about scraped out of the mystery knit along because I was joining the Slow Fashion October thread, and I realized no, I don't actually need a new shawl, and it's good to reflect that because I'm actually knitting a third, and I would rather knit a sweater, which, as you see, I still have cast on but not started, but that will happen now. And that was, I mean, that whole thread was so inspiring. It brought me around to like how to use stuff I've made in the past, how to mend that, how to use, for example, the swatches. So that's what I wanted to talk about now, was about what potential my swatches have. Because for the Humboldt, for the Marlite, I think this was the second swatch one I've ripped, where I think I had these the other way around with more green. And yeah, so I'm gonna use this, and as you know, I've got kids, and I thought I can, you know, make small things that are practical. So I think this will become the top of a little dress for the teddy, similar to this. So this will be, I think, the back or the front of the dress, and so I'll just knit the same thing at the back, a bit like a mini Humboldt sweater, where the back is just completely marled in both colours, and then I will add a little skirt, and then it'll be a little teddy dress or little doll's dress. So that's what's happening here. That's why I've put some of the I've cast these off and put these on needles and on thread to then, you know, knit the front bit, maybe put like 3 buttons. So that's what's going to happen with this swatch. This swatch, which, you know, obviously is this dress, when I made it, I sort of pulled it a bit tight when I put the I-cord on the edges, but now it's like the perfect little pocket. So I'm gonna add that to a little kid's jumper sweater as a pocket to put little treasures in, maybe down here. So that's what that swatch is going to be. And this swatch, that's also Hey Wolf yarns. the indigo, I'm gonna just use to make a new swatch, trying to design something small, because yeah, I just want to try designing knitwear, because I feel a bit inspired by also the Making Stories Woods, put the information here, which use Hey Mama Wolf yarns and use this swatch just to get into sort of like a pattern and make a drawing, write down ideas and hand it in. So that's what's going to happen with this swatch. It's going to become a new swatch. Okay, oh, I was talking about the Slow Fashion October, and what came from that for me, especially with how I have knit in the past, maybe imperfect knits that I started not really knowing how to do color change or how to seam in loose ends in the end. So I've made a couple of mistakes like that. So I'm gonna start mending these to make them functional again or looking nice. And I think that's one of the main things from that. I was like, yeah, I have stuff that needs mending. I shouldn't just keep crafting. Like here, for example, look, all those edges have come apart in play. This was a scarf I knit. I can't even remember what yarn. I think it's like a merino worsted weight, and you know, I didn't really seam the ends in, so I thought I'll give this, like, just knit something once around, trying to hide all these ends coming out. And even, you know, there was even a tear because I used to pull each other around with this. And yeah, so I had a pom-pom on one end and there was a pom-pom on the other end which fell off. So yeah, this really needs mending. So I'm gonna start the Mend It Monday thing. It will be good, and I hope to be able to show a mended scarf. And then this is the scarf that I knit. It's like a circular scarf. I knit this for Sam, again in a merino. But yeah, it also needs mending. I did a really bad job in joining because I didn't know how to do that. Didn't look up Kitchener's dish, just went with it. And I also, there's some holes that need mending. And yeah, some stains removing. So I will give this another look and sort it out so that you can wear it now that it's getting colder. So that'll be my mending. Oh, and then I'm mending some gloves for myself, some sort of fingerless mitts, and they are currently, yeah, on my desk for sewing because they need sewing basically to be mended. Oh, and yeah, and the other thing that I realized was that also with toys, like there's so many toys in our house actually, and there we need to work out how to mend things or look into what we're actually using, what is being played with, what not. And yeah, I got intrigued with toy making. I mean, I've made toys always in the past, made a couple of toys, but it would be nice to make with the kids and carry on making and mending toys that are handmade. So I just wanted to show some examples, what we're making for the bazaar, because I'm part of the bazaar team in our kindergarten for the Steiner school. It's like this sort of Waldorf background, and we're making toys because that's what we realized is the best thing, and it puts a smile on the kids' face to see it, and you know, it gets sold. So we're making these tiny little dolls nappies with buttons. And we're making these Schnittenbänder. They are amazing for playtime. They're being, you know, they get used as ropes, as a heart, you know, like when they play horses or cats or yeah, they build with these and build dens, and it's a really good simple, just knit a couple of stitches back and forth and make these long ropes. I didn't make these, that they were made by one of my fellow colleagues, but I've made some of these for my kids in other colors before. And yeah, making little cats, knitted cats, also very Steiner. And I've started making these pinecone elves. I will make more of them. They're really simple. I had a little tutorial on my stories for a bit, and you can find in my Instagram, you can find I've written it up with a picture of one of these, I think, so that you can just yeah, make them yourselves. They're really easy. You just have to find one of these pine cones and buy a bead, and you can use up leftover material. Or I started knitting little hats for them. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know where it is, but I've knitted one hat, and I made this tiny hat. So this is like an FO. It was meant to be for my friend's baby, but now she's probably much bigger than this hat, so it would also become like a little doll's hat. I think it'll look really nice on Poppy Steiner doll, but I still have to finish the pom-poms and that I can't decide. Someone said, yeah, beige or brown, I think, for little, it sort of had little tassely ends. This is a pattern by Misha and Puff Studio. I'll put the information down here. I absolutely love it. I think it's called Bamboo, the Bamboo Bonnet. Absolutely love knitting. This was basically my summer holiday knit. I did, you know, knit quite a bit of the Come On Home shawl, and yeah, I will show you a little clip of that on holiday knitting, but this was also holiday knitting this summer. Not much, because I was driving quite a bit. Tiny hat. Okay, I think that's it. I think I've shown you everything I wanted to show you. I've got one last thing on here, which I hope is not too weird, but I thought to give me a bit of a sense of direction with where I'm going generally with my knitting, with my crafting, I would like pick a card, because I'm into that, the oracle of cards, and then we'll say goodbye. But if you're not interested, don't worry, you don't have to stay for this weird magic stuff. But yeah, it's been really great that you've watched it. If you watched all this way, I'm super happy, and thank you for joining me on the Yarnchix podcast. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram as Leapwed, and you can also find me on Ravelry as Leapwed, and I will also mend this cardigan. I forgot to say that. I got this from the free market, which I was talking about on my Instagram. It's so lovely. It's this sort of merino blue thing, and I just got it because I thought, oh, I'll just rip it and then I have blue yarn, and now I keep wearing it and it's so nice and loose. But it has a couple of holes, you might have spotted them. It's got droopy pockets that don't work, which need fixing and sort of fitting on a bit more. It's got horrible buttons, which I don't like. Well, maybe if you like them, you can have them as a present. I don't really like them. They don't really go with me. I think I want wooden buttons. But yeah, it's these sort of tracht buttons. So yeah, this will also change. I hope to do that Monday. Mend it Monday. And then I'll show you next time. I think I'm gonna try and film every 2 weeks. Set that as a little deadline for myself, and I really like the way it's gonna be going into this idea of making myself stick to the projects, finish the projects on time, and showing it again, talking to the camera, and showing you some reportage style things, because I went on a little adventure taking pictures of this, and I want to show you that now and leave you with that. So after the magic card. Oh, sorry. There are these. And I'll put them out on the floor because I think that's the easiest, or here on the table. Okay, with my left hand. The Wheel of Fortune. Ah, that's good. That's really good. It sort of shows maybe I found the thing I want to do. This is sort of a lucky day, a lucky card. Things will roll and it'll be round and they will align themselves like the planet. That's a good card, the Wheel of Fortune. I might write up a bit of, like, once around here, what this card means. From my understanding, it's a card of everything pointing towards alignment and choices made in the right way. So it's about things falling into place and making sense and coming to your calling, joining together. And it's just the right card for me for today, because I sort of felt like it was necessary to do this and talk to people and start communicating and chatting, and you know, I'll be really happy for any comments and ideas, and yeah, connecting with people in different ways than just going, you know, writing a couple of comments on Instagram. I sort of feel inspired by everyone's work, and I hope it's the same for you with my work, and that you will follow along. And I like the way this holds me, you know, I don't know how you say, I've lost the word, sorry, but it's sort of like, you know, by showing you and saying next time it will be this, or you know, I should have finished that, then you know, I hope I will actually do that, because it'll be an achievement to move on with things and finish my knitting projects and sewing projects, which I guess I will talk more about next time. I'm busy doing these nappies, they're boring to sew basically, but they sell really well at the market, so we will do well. So it's a necessity to communicate to you guys and do a podcast and try and reach out and meet even more people, maybe new people. Yes, I'm excited. So the last thing I'm going to show you is actually sort of knit reportage, which I will keep doing, hopefully also visiting some of you, some of my inspiring friends that I've already met. I would really like to connect and join forces and, you know, talk about inspiring projects and things. I'm part of a wool group, which I will introduce through that knit reportage part. And this time I basically filmed, I had the luck that my husband filmed me taking the project pictures of this finished object, and I just sort of thought it might be interesting for people to see, you know, going to weird places, new places, coffee shops, you know, just doing stuff, and how I maybe come up with ideas, or maybe I do it like everyone else does, and you'll feel like, yeah, that's what I do, and we'll feel connected like that. But yeah, so watch me take a picture of my finished object in this knit reportage, and then I hope to see you soon, 2 weeks time. Please come back. Thank you. Bye from me, bye from Mimi.